My daughter banned me from the delivery room because her stepfather earned the first hold of my grandchild. So I shut off funding, canceled her registry, and left her stepfather the bill. Hello everyone, welcome to Reddit Visuals. You know, I used to think blood meant something, that being someone's parent gave you a permanent seat at their table. But people will write you out of the script the moment you stop being convenient. What I learned is that sometimes the people you'd die for are the same ones who'd kill you with disappointment. I'm a 52-year-old man, divorced, quiet life. I run my own carpentry business, live out in a small town, and until recently, I was preparing to become a first-time grandfather. Or I thought I was. My daughter, Lila, is 26. She was born in the third year of my marriage to her mother, Allison. The early years were intense. Allison and I were young, broke, and trying to build something out of nothing. But when Lila was born, I remember thinking, okay, this is my legacy. This little person. I will never let her feel abandoned like I did growing up. I did everything for that kid. I mean everything. Tea parties on Saturdays, braiding her hair before school, even though I sucked at it, waiting in the car during 3-hour ballet rehearsals, holding her hand through flu shots, first heartbreaks, and college rejections. I never missed a parent-teacher conference, never forgot a birthday, never said, maybe next time when she asked me to read her another story. I was that dad. The one who showed up even when he had nothing left to give. Her mom left us when Lila was 12, said she felt trapped, that she needed to find herself. The divorce papers cited irreconcilable differences, but what that really meant was she'd rather abandon her family than work through our problems. So it was just me and Lila for 14 years. 14 years of being both mom and dad. I never remarried. Didn't even seriously date. Every penny I earned went to her private high school tuition, dance lessons, college prep courses, SAT tutoring, and yes, I paid her full college tuition so she wouldn't start her adult life drowning in debt like I did. When she met Jack, her now husband, I was genuinely happy for her. He seemed like a good man. Stable job, blue-collar job, respectful, the whole, yes sir, thank you sir kind of guy. He'd come over for Sunday dinners, help me fix things around the house, and genuinely seemed to love my daughter. I never fully warmed up to him. No father ever thinks any man is good enough for his little girl. But I respected him. What I didn't expect was that her mother would reappear like a bad rash. 3 months before Lila's wedding, out of nowhere, Allison came crawling back into the picture. She brought along her new husband, Bruce, a real estate agent she'd married just 2 years earlier. Suddenly, this woman, who'd missed 14 years of birthdays, graduations, heartbreaks, and achievements, wanted to play mother of the bride. And here's the part that still makes my blood boil. Lila welcomed her back with open arms. Like the abandonment never happened. Like those nights I held her while she cried, asking, why doesn't mommy love us anymore? We're just a fever dream. Bruce, this man who'd known my daughter for exactly 18 months, started acting like he'd been there all along. Offering unsolicited advice about the wedding, making jokes about when she was little, based on stories Allison had probably told him the night before. But I swallowed my pride. I smiled through it. I even gave a toast at the rehearsal dinner, thanking everyone, including Bruce, for helping shape the incredible woman Lila has become. It tasted like sawdust coming out of my mouth, but I did it for her. And yes, I paid for the entire wedding, every single penny. The dress, $2,800. The venue, $18,000. The catering, $12,000. The photographer, the flowers, the band, the open bar, $47,000 in total. I hate to be the guy who mentions all the prices, but I had to take a loan against my business to cover it all. But seeing her smile was worth every dime, or so I thought. The wedding went off without a hitch. Lila looked beautiful. Jack cried when she walked down the aisle. Even Allison managed to keep her drama to a minimum. For a moment, I thought maybe we could all be adults about this blended family situation. Then came the pregnancy announcement. 8 months after the wedding, Lila called me, voice shaking with excitement. Dad, I'm pregnant! You're going to be a granddad! She was crying happy tears, and so was I. She said she wanted me in the delivery room, that she couldn't imagine bringing her baby into the world without me there. I started crying right there in my workshop. After everything we'd been through, after all those years of just me and her against the world, I was going to be there for the biggest moment of her life. But things started changing almost immediately. The closer she got to the due date, the more distant she became. Our weekly dinner dates turned into monthly coffee meetings. Our daily texts turned into read receipts with no replies. When I'd ask if she needed anything for the baby, she'd say, "Thanks, but Bruce already took care of that." Bruce bought them the crib, a $1,200 convertible one that I'd been planning to build myself, something handmade from Grandpa. Bruce painted the nursery. Bruce installed the baby monitor system. Bruce was apparently in the group chat with the OBGYN, getting real-time updates about my grandchild's development. Meanwhile, I was getting automated emails from her baby registry asking for contribution reminders, like I was some distant relative obligated to buy gifts instead of the man who raised her. Still, I contributed. I paid for the car seat, $400. A lot of diapers, $800. Premium postpartum care package, $1,500. Hell, I even paid for the fancy baby photo shoot she wanted, another $600. I kept telling myself this was just pregnancy hormones making her act strange, that once the baby came, things would go back to normal, that she'd remember who was there through all those years when her mother wasn't. I was so wrong. 2 weeks before her due date, Lila invited me over for what she called an important conversation. She made my favorite coffee, set out homemade cookies, and made small talk about work. But I could tell she was nervous. She kept fiddling with her wedding ring, avoiding eye contact. Then she dropped the bomb. "Dad, I've been thinking a lot about the birth, and I've decided it would be better if Bruce was in the delivery room instead of you." I swear the room went silent. Like, even the clock on the wall stopped ticking. "He's been really involved in this whole pregnancy," she continued, still not looking at me. "And I just feel like he's earned the right to be there. To have the first hold." I thought I was having a heart attack. My vision actually blurred for a second. "Earned it?" I finally managed to say. "Earned what, exactly?" She started fidgeting with her sleeve, that same nervous habit she'd had since she was 6. "It's not personal, Dad. It's just Bruce has been like a real father figure to me these past few years, and I want to honor that relationship. I still love you, but—" "A real father figure," I interrupted. "What the hell does that make me? A practice run?" She flinched. "That's not what I meant." "Then what did you mean, Lila? Because from where I'm sitting, it sounds like you're saying the man who showed up 2 years ago is more deserving of being in that room than the man who raised you alone for 14 years. Her eyes finally met mine, and they were cold. Colder than I'd ever seen them. "Dad, please don't make this about you. This is about what's best for me and my baby." That line, "Don't make this about you," hit me like a sledgehammer to the chest. Here I was, being told that watching my grandchild being born wasn't about me at all, that my decades of sacrifice, love, and devotion somehow didn't earn me the right to witness this miracle. She told me I could wait in the hallway, that I'd be one of the first to meet the baby after Bruce had his moment. I sat there, staring at the daughter I'd raised alone, who was now telling me that a man who'd known her for 36 months had somehow earned what I wasn't even allowed to witness. I didn't say another word. I just stood up and left. But I wasn't done, not by a long shot. The next morning, I did something I'd never done in my life. I took back everything I'd given. I logged into the baby registry website, clicked remove on every single contribution I'd made, called the companies directly and had my name wiped from the purchases. The diapers? Gone. The postpartum care package? Canceled. The baby photo shoot? Refunded. I called the high-end baby store where I'd put $2,000 down on a custom nursery package. "I'm sorry, sir," the manager said, "but the remaining balance will need to be paid by someone else." "Perfect," I told her. "Send the invoice to Bruce Henderson. He's earned it." But I didn't stop there. See, if Bruce had earned the right to hold my grandchild first, then he'd earned all the responsibilities that came with being the primary father figure, too. I called the doula service Lila had hired, another $1,800 expense I'd agreed to cover. "I'm withdrawing my financial commitment," I told them. "Please send the final invoice to Bruce Henderson." The private lactation consultant? Bruce's bill now. The night nanny for the first 2 weeks? Bruce could figure that out. The meal delivery service for post-birth recovery? You guessed it all, Bruce. I even called the fancy maternity photographer who was supposed to do a 3-generation shoot with me, Lila, and the baby. Cancel that, I said. Apparently, there's a new grandfather in town. In total, I'd redirected about $8,000 in expenses to the man who'd earned his place in my family. Then I went completely silent. No texts, no calls, no Facebook likes, nothing. I found out through Lila's cousin that she'd gone into labor. The post said, "Our baby Elijah was born at 3:47 a.m., 7 pounds, 4 ounces, healthy and perfect." There was a photo of Bruce holding him, grinning like he'd accomplished something heroic. I didn't comment. I didn't like the post. I didn't even save the picture. I waited. 2 days later, my phone started buzzing. "Dad, why haven't you come to meet Elijah?" I ignored it. "Are you seriously going to punish an innocent baby because your feelings are hurt?" Still ignored. "Fine, be petty, but don't expect me to chase after you." The next text came 3 days later. "The bills are piling up. Bruce can't cover everything. This is ridiculous." I finally responded, "Sounds like a conversation for the man who earned the right to be in that delivery room." She went quiet for almost a week. Then I got a call from Jack, her husband, not Bruce. He sounded exhausted, defeated. "Hey," he said quietly. "I just wanted to say I think this whole thing got out of hand. I told Lila from the beginning that what she did was wrong. Bruce means well, but he's not you. He doesn't have the history. And Lila knows she messed up, but she's too proud to admit it." "Then why hasn't she?" I asked. "Because admitting she was wrong means admitting she hurt the person who loved her most, and that's a hard pill to swallow." "The baby looks just like her when she was born," he said softly. "Same little nose. Same way of scrunching up his face when he cries." That almost broke me. Almost. "Jack," I said, "I appreciate you calling. But if Lila wants her father back, she knows where to find me." 3 more weeks passed. 21 days of silence. 21 days of not knowing if my grandson was healthy, if he was sleeping through the night, if he had his mother's eyes or his father's smile. I threw myself into work, took on extra projects, spent my weekends in the garage, building a rocking chair I'd originally planned to make for Lila to use while nursing Elijah. Every stroke of sandpaper felt like I was trying to smooth away the hurt. Then, on a Tuesday afternoon, I found an envelope slipped under my front door. No return address. Inside was a single photograph, Lila holding Elijah, both of them in the hospital. She looked exhausted, but there was something else in her eyes. Regret, maybe. On the back, in her familiar handwriting, I thought creating the perfect family meant rewriting the one I already had. I was wrong. We need you. I stared at that photo for hours. This tiny person, my grandson, whom I'd never met, and my daughter, who looked lost and broken. But I didn't pick up the phone. Not yet. Because the truth is, love without respect is just manipulation. And being a father or a grandfather isn't about who shows up for the big moments. It's about who never leaves, even when things get ugly. The next morning, I got another text from Lila. "Dad, I'm sorry. I know I hurt you. I know I was wrong. But please don't punish Elijah for my mistakes. He needs his grandfather." And for the first time in 2 months, I typed back, "I've been here the whole time. The question is, are you ready to be the daughter I raised you to be?" Her response came immediately. "Yes, please come home." That afternoon, I met my grandson for the first time. He was perfect, absolutely perfect. And when Lila placed him in my arms, she whispered, "I'm sorry, Dad. You didn't just earn this, you've always deserved it." Bruce wasn't there. Apparently, when the bills started piling up and Lila needed real support, the man who'd earned his place in the family decided he'd earned enough. So now I ask you, was I wrong for cutting off my daughter and making Bruce pay the bills? Or was I finally teaching her that actions have consequences, even when they come from the people we love most? Let me know in the comments what you would have done in my shoes. And if this story hits home, please like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Reddit Visuals.